So I got some really bad news. My handle broke off my Sherman, and you can see these broken bits, so I just cut them off clean, so these are exactly even. On the top of the wheel here you can see how they cleanly snapped off. I've got the side open, so I'm going to undo these screws to get this unit out and then do the same on the other side. So it turns out we're going to take the top off, which leaves it all exposed very cleanly. There's a tiny little pin in here which prevents us from putting the screwdriver down here and lifting up. But we can pop that in by pressing this button, because unfortunately it broke off when it was fully extended. And then I can pull this lever with my other hand and it pops up. There we go, we've got that popped up, and now we can slide it all the way out. Oh, excellent. Now we just got to pop this out and rejoin it to the legs. So at the bottom of this there's a little recess indent that I crushed flat. Then I use a long rod that I push through to pop out the end. And now we got this off, we can do some cutting to make it fit back onto our original stand that will be shorter. So this is the height that we've lost. I've just drilled a 5mm hole because we need to replicate this shape. So we're going to drill 5mm hole this way and say a 6mm hole that way. So we've got our 5mm holes going all the way through the bottom rails. Now we're just going to do the side hole, and this is a 5mm hole as well, because they're for the plastic clips on here to clip into, which hold in the locking pin. Because the 5mm drill is so big, I recommend drilling it with a small guide hole first. Make sure you get yourself some good tools. After we've got the drilling done, we just run the file in there to make it smooth. As for the orientation, we've got a big pin at the front, and then we've got a little pin at the back. So pin at the front, so it goes in that way. Let's see how well it clips in. Perfect. And we should have a side gap, or it's a little bit out, but I think it'll be okay for the plastic shroud. So now that we've got the handles in, and they sit and they spring down, we just got to add the secondary hole here and here, so the pins will actually sit and lock it in the down position. And then we can cut the top side shorter to match. So now we've got the hole drilled. When we push this down, we push the button in, slide it down. As we slide it down, we can see it start to compress, and then it locks in. So that's how much height I lost. So I'm going to cut my handle to be that much shorter. But it actually might be okay, because it might sit internal. So before I cut it, we'll see. So now we just got to take these off, slide the plastic side up first. So this will slide up here to there, and then we can clip on the end pieces, and then they will slide up. So let's get this slid up. Now we've got this slid up. Careful to note, we've got to have the pin facing up, and now we can put the end piece on. We've got the end piece on, let's slide it over. Just got to push that in. Now it slides over, and now it's inside the chamber. Pull this out. So now we've got it looking pretty good. The only issue is because this has been shortened, this needs to be shortened, but I could also shorten this. But if I shorten this, when this sits inside the machine, it would sit there. But if I shortened, cutting off the base here, it would pull this down. But then you'd end up with an air gap up here. I could 3D print like an object to fill it in, because at the moment I press the button, that retracts this one and this one. So then it slides down. And then once we hit the bottom, which is down here, well, the thing is, because normally that would be where the inside piece would hit this end stopper, which I've bent out, what happens is this part here protrudes through this join like that, and then it's really difficult to pull back out. So we've got to figure out a resolution. But in the straight normal mode, we can push this in, and then it would stop there, and that's it. And now we've got this part here to resolve. Just push a little bit further, it just goes too far. And that's our stop. That's our stop block right there to stop us going too far. What we've done here is we've just disconnected the handle off the top, and then we've just slid them straight down into the machine, and we are reattaching I've still got my out of alignment, and we'll see what that looks like when it's all together. Okay, we've got the top bit on. Let's turn this thing on. Dolly handle works. Press the button, goes down, kind of locks there, goes all the way down, it locks in. That's very nice. Press the button, pops out, gets caught there. Press the button again. Oh, does jam up. These do jam up a little bit in here, but seems to be working. Hold that button, push it in. Oh, I'm happy.